Hello, 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 hello. Some of the rules that you believe about money, about purpose, about healing, visibility, divine guidance, about success, they're not truth at all. Okay. They're just false connections that you have repeated until they sound sensible, holy, unavoidable. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Spirit Speaks Experience. I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight. I am the Prosperity Minister and a business coach to ambitious spiritual people determined to manifest at least 5 to 10K each and every month whilst living luxuriously in their purpose. I help you leave behind the pain, the limiting beliefs of the past so you can rise victorious in your true design life. Your true design is a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life if you will claim it. If you will claim it, okay? And first step to understanding how I work with people is to get a copy of my book, Money Manifestation Mastery and Strategic Divine Guidance book. Okay, message me the word book or go see the link in my bio to get a copy of it for yourself. Now, today, as always, we're going to start with the divine download. The Spirit Speaks. Yeah, and a divine download or the Spirit Speaks is just a message that I get from the divine each day for my members in the Deliberate Millionaire Gathering. I'm sharing some of these with you because I've been doing it for years now. So I decided to reuse some of the older ones and use them to deliver divine messages to you guys. Okay, so we're going to start with today's divine download. Listen in. You have made lots of false connections and they keep you trapped. Connections between what you think you must do in order to get what you want. Some of these connections are completely arbitrary, but you think they are completely valid. And so you prove yourself right because you always will. Some of these connections you are completely oblivious to. You think it is just the way life works, but you ignore the fact that it is not the way life works for some others who do not believe in the way that you do. Your life would be a lot simpler if you divested yourself of these connections, no matter how real they seem. Start by looking at why you think you do not have the things you want. Notice the connections you're making there. Ask me to help you see things differently. The lies are right there within your reach, but they seem like truth because you believed them so completely. Set yourself free. Okay, so that's the divine download. So divine starts by saying, we'll look into this. You have made lots of false connections and they keep you trapped. False connections. I cannot have this until I do that. I cannot start this until I finish that or I have that. I cannot receive until I become. I cannot make money until I have more proof. I cannot live my purpose until every single circumstance is perfect. And you believe these connections. You believe they're real. You organize your whole life around these purposes or these connections. You don't even question. You say, well, that's just the way life works. Okay, but is it really though? Is it really? Because someone somewhere has the thing that you want without obeying that rule that you think you have to obey. Someone is making money without exhausting themselves. Somebody is helping other people heal without being healed themselves. Someone is visible because they feel complete before they feel confident. Okay. So anyway, we're going to look at 10 connections that keep you stuck, that keep you away from money, purpose, freedom, whatever, that keep you even from deeper connection with the divine. Okay. Okay. So number one, I must work grueling hours in order to earn serious money, which the false connection being that exhaustion equals financial reward. And it's everywhere. No pain, no gain, blah, 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 all of that stuff. If money comes too easy, then actually you're looking for the scam. You're looking for the, what's wrong? What did I do wrong? What did they do wrong? And all of that, basically. If you're not exhausted, then maybe you haven't earned it enough. If you're not sacrificing your sleep, your body, your peace, your family, your pleasure, everything about you, then you do not deserve a high income. It's not always, you don't say this, but you act like it's true. You fill your calendar with a heck of a lot of stuff that maybe you don't even need to do. You over deliver all the time. All the time. And it shows up in every area of your life. You're over giving all the time because that's the only way you deserve anything. You make everything so heavy. You work like a sacrificial lamb. Basically, when you call it service and you tell yourself that you have no choice, that that's just the only way that you're going to be able to make the money that you want to make. Is it true? Is it true though? So ask yourself, where am I making things heavier than they need to be so that I can feel worthy of receiving? You're very welcome. Okay, number two. I need a large safety net before I can step into my vision or into my dream or into my goals or whatever. The false connection being a financial cushion equals permission. So if I have that financial cushion, then I now have permission to do what I need to do. I will start when I have more savings. I will create the offer when I have more money. I will do whatever when I have more money. I have a huge safety net of some sort. I will take my purpose seriously when I feel financially safe. So many times I have people come on the phone with me telling me about how they cannot do the thing that they want to do because of no money. And I'm always like, well, for most people, generally you start because you have no money. So why do you think that it has to stop you from doing it? But a false connection like that can seem so real. The resources that you need, the money that you need, actually comes as you move, as you do the thing. That's where you get the resources from and all of that stuff. You don't need, for most of y'all, you don't need a huge safety net before you begin. You need to actually just begin. You need to begin. So ask yourself, what can I begin with what I already have? What can I begin with what I already have? Number three, I must charge low until I have more experience. And I know some of these are particularly targeting you guys that are, my ambitious spiritual people that do want to make money from what is inside of you, and you're stopping yourself. So number three here is that I must charge low until I have more experience. That time served equals transformational value. Time served equals transformational value. You think you have to wait years. I used to do this too. I used to think that I couldn't become a coach until I was at least 52, 72. Well, I'd still be waiting now if I had waited for any of those numbers, because then I told myself I'd have more life experience. It's not true. There are some very effective, very young coaches, very effective, very young spiritual teachers, very effective, very young healers, because they decided to do it. But you've made this false connection that tells you until you reach a certain age, until you've done who knows what, you cannot be the coach, the healer, the teacher that you really dream of being. It's a choice you're making. It's not true. And also this whole idea that you cannot charge sufficiently to get your business working until you have more experience, until you've done it for longer, and blah, 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 blah. Again, it's a false connection, okay? A false connection that is not necessary and is not necessarily true at all, okay? So question yourself again, where am I dismissing the value of what I already know? Where am I dismissing the value of what I already know? Or where am I confusing humility with undercharging? Number four, I need a perfect website, brand, social media presence before I can actually start signing anybody up. So the belief here being that polished optics, so as long as it looks good, that's equal to permission to sell. It's not true. It's not true. So many capable people are trapped by this idea, and it's not true. I need better photos. I need a full brand. I need a perfect website. I need a bigger audience. I need my content to look more professional. I need everything to be polished before I can invite anybody to work with me. And why would anybody want to work with me until everything is so polished? But it's not true. It's not true. In fact, some of the polishing happens because you start moving ultimately. So yes, you're always going to be improving websites and all of that stuff and branding and social media and all of that stuff, but you do not need to wait until it's all perfect before you serve, because you don't even know what perfect really truly looks like, really. You don't. So if you have that belief, however, that it all has to look great before anybody will buy it from you, you will keep hiding. You will give off the energy of I'm hiding, I'm hiding, I'm hiding. And then when you don't get the clients, you will tell yourself it is because my website doesn't look good, my social media doesn't look good, my content looks weird. That's why, when actually it's because you're hiding. You're giving off this energy of hiding. And people are picking it up. They don't know why you're hiding. So to them, the energy they're picking up is something of deceit. And so they don't buy from you. But you misinterpret why they're not buying from you. Wake up. Wake up. Question yourself. Am I preparing or am I hiding? Am I continually preparing, or am I just hiding? Or is my preparation actually hiding? Number five, I must be completely healed, holy, or spiritually disciplined before I can help anybody or hear the divine. So again, perfection equals permission to serve, to lead, to hear. this is very painful, a very painful connection to make for ambitious spiritual people, because you tell yourself, I cannot help people with money until my money is perfect. I cannot help people with confidence until I never doubt myself. I cannot guide people spiritually until I never question anything myself. I cannot support others until I'm fully healed myself. I cannot hear the divine clearly until I'm more disciplined. I cannot trust what I hear until I pray more, fast more, meditate more, journal more, do another vision board, journal some more, study more, clear more, heal more, become better. Except when is the end of this better? Basically, before you know it, the very things that were actually supposed to help you deepen that connection to the divine become the barriers that you put between yourself and the divine. Okay, prayer becomes a hoop that you have to jump over in order for the divine to hear you, or meditation becomes a test. How long can you meditate? Because the longer you meditate, the more likely you are to go into those deeper realms, and then you'll meet the divine and blah 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 blah. I'll tell you right now, I don't actually meditate that much at all. In fact, I don't do that whole meditation thing. I don't. And I hear the divine all the time. So it's not a prerequisite for deepening your connection to the divine. It's not a prerequisite for hearing the divine. It's not a prerequisite for being able to help the people that you're called to help. Okay, journaling becomes some kind of requirement. Unless I'm somebody that journals all the time, that's the only way that I can reach the divine. That's the only way that I can prove that I'm holy enough to help people, and blah blah blah. All of this stuff becomes hoops for you to jump through that you don't need. You don't need to do that. The divine doesn't need you to jump through these hoops. And the problem with this is, especially when it comes to deepening your connection to the divine, which is the source, and you need connection to the source. But when you put these barriers between you, or these obstacles between you and the divine, you start to think the divine has abandoned you, not realizing that it is these ideas that inside your head that tell you that you have to be perfect before you can hear the divine, before you can connect to the divine. That is what is getting in the way. Okay, I'm not allowed to hear from the divine until I'm a better person. I'm not allowed to trust myself until I become more perfect. I'm not allowed to help anybody until I have no issues left. All of these are barriers that you are putting in front of the divine, between you and the divine, between you and the goals that you have. And these are false connections that bind you up. This is one of them anyway. Okay, you can do whatever you need to do right now. You can start now. You can connect to the divine now. You don't need to change anything about yourself in order for you to be ready, in order for you to be enough. Okay, so again, ask yourself, where have I decided the divine will only speak to a better version of me? Okay, where am I using I'm not healed enough to avoid actually putting myself out there into the marketplace and helping the people I'm called to help? Okay, ask yourself this. Number 6, I need permission from my family, my partner, my pastor, my community before I do my purpose work. Another false connection. External approval equals divine permission. It's not true. Okay, you feel called, you feel that nudge inside of you, but then you think, what will my family say? What will people think of me? How am I coming across? What will my partner think about this? Will my pastor or spiritual teacher approve of this? Will my old church people think that I'm of the devil now, basically? Or will my community think that I've gone too far? And suddenly, people who are not actually giving your vision become the gatekeepers of your vision. Really? No, enough. Your vision is your permission, okay? Your vision is your permission. Your vision is your permission. Stop making them the gatekeepers of your vision. You are the one putting that barrier in your own way. Don't do it. Ask yourself, whose permission am I still waiting for before I go fully into doing my purpose work? I want you to check in with yourself. Who have I made more powerful than the divine within me? Who have I made more powerful than the divine within me? Really ask yourself these questions and see where you're holding yourself back. Number 7, my body must look a certain way before I can be visible. My body must look a certain way before I can be visible. So the false connection there is that this physical metric equals worthiness to be seen. Physical metric equals worthiness to be seen. Really, I will do the photo shoot when I lose the weight. I will record videos when I look better. I will host the event when I feel more confident in my body. I'll be visible when I'm more attractive, more polished, more acceptable. And so then your gifts just sit on the shelf because your body hasn't met some imaginary standard of what it's supposed to look like in order for you to be able to do the work that you would like to do. And I'm not saying that physical health doesn't matter, but I'm saying it doesn't actually get in the way of you living in your purpose. It doesn't get in the way of you actually taking what is inside of you and converting it into something that will help people, that will teach people, that will guide people, that will coach people. It doesn't stop you from taking pictures of yourself. It doesn't stop you from doing anything. Unless you're actually actively ill and you're lying in bed or something. And I'll even say I did. I remember still doing when I was I had an operation and I was This was in my more crazy phases. I think these days I'll actually take a break. But I did live streams and everything from my hospital bed because it was just like I don't care. I felt a need to share my heart and I needed to share something, so I just got on with it. So nothing stops you except the belief that this thing can stop you. Okay. So again, are you accepting yourself? Because really, it comes down to, do you accept your own body as the way it looks today? Because if you haven't, then of course you're not going to allow anybody else to accept it because you think there's an issue with you, and so then you make that a barrier to creating the life you want. Stop it. Stop it, my love. Ask yourself, where have I made my appearance the gatekeeper of my purpose? What would I do today if I stopped waiting to look different? What would you do today if you stopped waiting to look different? If this is one of those connections that you've made and have decided must stop you? No, they don't. Number 8, it has to be hard for the victory to be legitimate. It has to be hard for the victory to be legitimate. So suffering, sacrifice equals righteousness and maturity and success. And it sounds so noble if you believe this. It sounds noble, and it's not, you don't consciously walk around saying, I'm going to make my life harder in order for the victory to be legitimate. It's just that you do not allow life to be easy. You do not allow the journey to creating the life you desire to be easy. And I'll tell you right now, there is no happy ending to an unhappy journey. There is no happy ending to an unhappy journey. So if you are trying to get your vision off the ground, to get your goals off the ground, to build that business, to build that side hustle, whatever it is, to make that money, doing the thing that you would really like to do, and it's really horrible and it feels yuck, I promise you, you are not going in the right direction. You may feel like, yeah, but I have to work hard and I have to take immense action and massive action, blah, 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 blah. You're taking the wrong action because it shouldn't feel that bad. Shouldn't feel that bad. I'm not saying that there won't be challenges. I'm not saying that it won't that you won't do a lot of things, but I'm saying that if it feels horrible, the way you're going is not where you want to go. Pay attention to the journey because the journey needs to feel good. And yes, there's going to be moments when you feel, because yeah, you're building something new, you're doing something outside of your comfort zone. There is going to be a certain amount of discomfort, but there's a difference between the tension of transition, or the tension of change, and you are just on the wrong path, trying to tell yourself that it must feel horrible, I must sacrifice and I must suffer in order to win. And you kind of need to learn the difference. And if you don't know the difference, work with somebody. Come and work with me so that I can point out to you where you're making it harder than it needs to be. There is no happy ending to an unhappy journey. Please realize this. Please realize this, okay? So you don't keep killing yourself thinking that you're getting somewhere when actually, no, where you're going, you don't want to go. Because how you build the business, the stuff you had to do to build it is what you're going to have to continue to do to keep it going. You realize that, right? So if you really hate the journey, don't keep doing it. Don't keep doing it that way. Wake up, 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 wake up. Basically, okay? Ease does not necessarily mean that you're being lazy, okay? So ask yourself, where do I distrust ease? Where do I make things hard so that I feel legitimate? And some of these things, again, you don't always know you're doing them. So please pay attention. Pay attention, get help if you need it, but definitely start learning to listen to you. Number 9, I must feel fearless before I make a bold move. So if there's no fear, or no, the connection being that you have to be completely confident before you do anything. It's not true. So you say things like, I'll start when I feel better, or when I feel braver, or when I feel more confident. I will speak when I stop shaking, or I will raise the price when there's no fear, or I don't feel uncomfortable, or I will make the move when I feel completely certain. Confidence comes last. I say this to my clients all the time. Confidence usually comes last. You do the thing and then you become confident about doing the thing. Okay. So waiting until you completely feel fearless probably means that you will never do the thing. Okay. So it's a false connection. You don't have to feel confident to do something that you know you need to do next. You can just do it, and that will build your confidence to do it the next time. Okay. So ask yourself, where am I waiting to feel fearless before I actually obey the prompting, the inner prompting in my heart to do this next thing? What action would I take if I allowed fear to come with me, but not lead me? Because, yeah, you can feel afraid and keep moving. You can. Okay. Number 10, my job, my profession, my current income stream, it is my source. It is my source. The people in my life are my source. Anything other than the divine and yourself is not your source. Okay. Okay. And this is a big one because we are trained and we are conditioned to believe that yes, that our jobs or whatever you however you make money right now or the relationships in your life right now, they are all your source. And as a spiritual person, you kind of know that the divine is meant to be your source, or you and the divine, okay? Because I know that sometimes spiritual people say only the divine, but actually it's you and the divine are your source. So you and the divine, you know this, but you live as though if I don't have this job, I'm going to die. If these people don't agree with me, then I can't do what I need to do. I will not be able to do it, or whatever. You have these ideas inside of you that's telling you that the physical reality is the source of the thing that you would want to do, when actually you see the vision, you see it within you, you build it from within. It is it is built first within you. The energy comes from within. Your connection to the divine, your connection with yourself, that is what builds the vision, not anything in the physical reality. In fact, everything in the physical reality has come out of you. It has been created by you from within. We don't always see the connection sometimes and think, oh, well, I have to, appease the people in my life. I have to make sure the job is fine. The boss loves me, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that you need to quit anything in your life in order to create your purpose-led income path right now. I'm not saying that. I don't believe in anybody making any kind of sudden moves. I don't believe in anybody jumping off cliffs unless you really, really, really feel completely guided to do such a thing. But for the most part, none of y'all need to do any of that. But you do need to realize that none of that in the physical reality is your source. It is your connection to the divine, your connection within yourself. That is your source. You are the source of your own abundance. The divine is the source of your abundance. Really, really know this. Start practicing knowing this. Start noticing where you are living as though the job or whatever it is that you may, however you make money right now, is your source. It is not. It is not. It is not. It is not. There are various different ways, various different channels that money can come through to you, not just the one way. When people tell me, "Oh, I have a fixed income," I think, well, you don't realize yet that is not your source. Because if you realize that that was not your source, you wouldn't be telling me about a fixed income, basically, because it's not true. But if you believe it, it becomes true for you. And that's what the divine download said, right? If you believe it, because you believe it, it's becoming true for you. You are seeing the evidence of it because you already believe it. And you don't realize that it is your belief that is causing you to see it, and it's causing you to behave in a way that it becomes real for you. So then all the evidence looks as though it is true. But no, you create from within. You are the source of your own abundance. The divine is the source of your abundance, not anything in the physical reality. Not anything in the physical reality. So ask yourself, where have I mistaken one channel to be the total source? Because your job is a channel. The relationships in your life are a channel. Whatever is a channel. Anything in the physical reality, they're all various different channels of supply. They are not the source of supply. Okay. What would I change if I trusted the divine and myself as source? Really, what would I change? Really, if I really believed, if you really believed that the divine and you were your own source, what would you change? Yeah, the divine is your source of connection. Absolutely. The divine is your source of connection. But it's also the source of abundance. The source of anything you desire comes from within. And you really must, really, we can't only say these things, but then live as though they're not true. Let it be true, really. Okay. So the divine says, start by looking at why you think you do not have the things you want, and notice the connections you're making. So look at your life, look at your physical reality life, look at what you think you lack, and ask yourself, why do I feel I lack this? So I don't have the money I want because, fill in the sentence. I don't have the clients I want because, I don't have the body I want because, I don't have the confidence I want because, I don't have that relationship that I want because, I don't have the freedom I want because, I don't have the purpose-led income path I want because, And I want you to, yeah, write out as many becauses, as many reasons as come up. And that's where you'll start to see the false connections you're making. And for each person, I've mentioned 10 here, but for each person, it's going to be different. Or it might be some of the ones I mentioned, or it might be other ones. Now, this is what I help clients do. This is what you can start to do for yourself. What connections are you making that are not actually truth? And anything that tells you you cannot have what you desire is probably a false connection. So check with yourself, what am I telling myself is the reason why I cannot have the money, the clients, the relationships, the whatever I want? What is it? And then start to ask yourself. I did talk you through a system a few days ago, but yeah, now that you're aware that there's false connections in there, start to question those connections. Is this true? Is it absolutely the truth, the only truth available to everybody? Is it still what you want to continue to believe? And if not, create a new belief and reinforce it. Create a new belief, reinforce it. Stop allowing these false connections to keep you from your true destiny. Okay? Okay? Set yourself free, as the divine said. Set yourself free from these false connections. The lies are right there within your reach. This is what the divine said in that download. The lies are right there within your reach, but they seem like truth because you have believed them so completely. Set yourself free. Now, if you can't do it alone, ask the divine for support. Come and work with me. I can help you see where you're holding yourself back, where you're sabotaging your own efforts, where your beliefs are stopping you from taking the actual actions that would get you the result you want. Reach out to me. Or start by getting a copy of my book, The Money Manifestation Mastery and Strategic Divine Guidance book. Go get that copy of the book. You either message me the word book or go to the link in my bio. It'll be there. Get a copy of the book. And that's step one for you. Okay, let's bring this to a close by doing the love prayer together. Some of you all will be able to see it. Some of you will not. Unfortunately, you'll just have to listen to me, close your eyes, and allow the words to minister to you anyway. Okay, so here we go. Hands over hearts. Your love dissolves all doubt. And I really want you to feel the love of the divine flooding through you right now. Your love dissolves all doubt. Your love dissolves all fear. Your love keeps me focused. Your love keeps me clear. Your love dissolves all guilt. Your love dissolves all shame. Your love keeps me focused. Your love keeps me in the game. Your love dissolves regret. Your love dissolves despair. Your love restores my hope, my peace, my joy. Your love restores my youth and my years. Your love dissolves resentment and envy. Your love dissolves hate and rage. Your love dissolves any bitter root within me. Your love rebuilds my self-trust and my faith. Your love flows freely through me right now, resolving, dissolving, evolving. Your love flows freely through me right now, harmonizing and adjusting. Your love flows freely through me right now, resolving, dissolving, evolving. Your love makes me magnetic to the desires of my heart. Take a moment right now to see those desires. Remember, you create from within. Take a moment right now to see those goals that you have decided must come to pass. And feel the love of the divine flooding through them, making you magnetic to the physical equivalent of them. Feel yourself overflowing with the love of the divine right now. And every seed you've planted within you is right now being nourished with the love of the divine. I feel your love propelling me forward into greater and greater financial prosperity right now. Money, wealth, riches are flooding into my life from everywhere and in great abundance, with ease and with speed. Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, guys, it's been a pleasure as always to do this with you. Much amazing love. Go forth and prosper. Bye.